Live from our studios at One Television Plaza, this is your Mid-Ohio Valley Morning Brief.
Good morning, Mid-Ohio Valley, and thanks for joining us today for your morning brief. I'm Grace Myers.
And I'm Henry Groff, and it was a decent day yesterday. Yeah. Lots of sunshine, just feeling a tad bit humid.
That's okay. I will take humid over rain.
But yeah, no rain yesterday. Still no rain through the day today, but there is some more coming back.
That's okay. Enjoy the sunshine this afternoon.
At least it's not going to be a long duration rain event like the past several days. But let's take a live look this morning where there has been some areas of patchy fog, especially here in Marietta, as we take a look at the Jandil sky cam. But it's been mostly spotty across the region, and temperatures have been overall pretty nice, mid 60s across the region and some upper 60s south of US 50, but we will still at least see those 80s coming back this afternoon as cloud cover is expected to increase. But this morning, just some of that area of fog that'll clear out. We'll look at partly cloudy skies through the day with more clouds into this evening before that chance of rain returns overnight tonight. Could even deal with some embedded thunderstorms as well with some locally heavy rain. Rain chances continue into your Thursday with another round for Saturday. And then we got to talk about some good news on the way heading into the later part of the weekend and next week. But I'll have more details on all of that in just a little bit. But for now, let's take a look at those morning headlines, Emma Grace.
Well, we're going to start off over in Pleasants County because a newly established disaster recovery center is open at the Pleasants County Senior Center on 2nd Street in St. Mary's. Doors opened for the first time at 7 a.m. Tuesday, offering critical recovery resources to those hit by the late July storms. Individuals and households within Pleasants, Ritchie, Lewis, and Upshur counties are eligible for individual financial assistance. FEMA officials are on site and ready to walk applicants through the registration process step by step. West Virginia emergency management officials say having in-person disaster relief centers makes a massive difference for heavily impacted communities.
Flood-impacted individuals, also wind damage, everything from the severe storms on July 21st are able to visit and see, to talk to FEMA officials, local representatives, state representatives, and they are able to just kind of answer questions about how to apply for disaster aid through FEMA, and also they're set up to be able to help anybody who was affected to apply as well.
The state's initial disaster survey remains online and active this week to accurately gather resident feedback from additional damage due to the storms over the weekend. The deadline for residents to apply for FEMA aid is set for October 3rd. The St. Mary's Disaster Relief Center will remain open daily from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. through this Saturday, August 22nd.
Yeah, good to hear some more resources are available after those storms from back in July.
But all of that information, if you do want to apply online, is available on our website, WTAP.com. So if you do need that, you can find it there as well.
Yeah, so check that out. But let's move on to our next story. The Meigs County Health Department reported 4 confirmed cases of measles on Monday. The Mid-Ohio Valley Health Department reports no suspected cases or contacts currently under monitoring on the West Virginia side of the river, but officials say travel could change that quickly. Public Information Officer for the Mid-Ohio Valley Health Department, Amy Phelps, says the virus places younger children under the age of 5, older adults, and immunocompromised individuals at high risk for severe complications. Measles spread person to person through respiratory droplets that can linger in the air of an enclosed room for up to 2 hours.
The symptoms, the initial symptoms, unfortunately, are a lot like other viruses because it's like fever, coughing, runny nose. You can have red eyes, kind of like pink eye or conjunctivitis. And then about a couple days after those, then a lot of times people can get the white spots in the roof of their mouth. And then a couple days after that is when the rash can start. And it usually starts on the head and then spreads downward.
Public health departments do not provide direct testing or treatment for measles. Testing is generally completed by a primary care provider. If you are experiencing symptoms, health officials say you must not commingle in public waiting areas. Health says to call your healthcare provider before arriving so they can take isolation precautions. And of course, remember, as we get into the fall months, make sure you're also updated with your vaccinations.
Yeah, I know a lot of kids prior to the start of school had to get all of their vaccines done, but another reminder for parents to make sure you're staying up to date with your flu and COVID shots.
And always check in with your primary care provider.
That too. But speaking of back to school, school is starting for Wood County today, and it's important to remind your children about safety. Remember to slow down and watch out in school zones for pedestrians crossing. Parkersburg Police Chief Matthew Board says students waiting for the school bus should be off to the side of the road, out of harm's way if something dangerous were to occur. Double checking both sides of the road before crossing is also a good habit to have as well. He recommends having a conversation with your child about stranger danger, and having a code word can help keep them safe. Another safety tip regards back to school photos.
The signboard that has kind of intricate information, what grade, what school, who the teacher is, favorite food, and a litany of other things. But when we post those on social media, it can kind of give somebody a pretty good glimpse into your private life and some personal information about the little one that you might not want them to have.
Chief Board reminds parents once it's on the internet, it's hard to erase. He says keeping the back to school photos within the family is a safe bet.
Yeah, that's always a safe option to do, because when you take a photo on your phone, sometimes if the setting is turned on, it can geotag those photos to tell people where the photo was taken. And so uploading that to social media can still remain on that photo. So people that you might not know might be able to download that photo and then find out where it was taken.
Yeah, just be aware of what you're putting on the internet. I know both of us kind of grew up in the age of social media.
Yeah.
And know that, once it's on the internet, you
can't
get rid of it. And people you don't know can find it. But let's take a look at our national story for today. Speaking of teens and back to school, OpenAI is rolling out a new ChatGPT for teens. The company said in a Tuesday blog post its chatbot will have new tools and more safety protections for teen users while preserving the ability to learn, create, and explore. The protections will include nudges for teens to take a break if they've been active for 90 minutes within a 3-hour window. OpenAI is adding options to set quiet or study hours. The company said it's improved protections to prevent ChatGPT from expressing personal feelings towards a user. There are also reminders that urges teens to think again before uploading a private or sensitive image to the chatbot. OpenAI's updates come as it faces a string of lawsuits alleging that inappropriate conversations with ChatGPT contributed to the harm or death of young people. I think it's good that they're adding some safeguards in. I know a lot of people are using AI very flippantly, I will say.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good thing, especially for teens whose minds are still developing.
We'll see how those guardrails can hold, because sometimes they can be broken.
They can, if the kids are smart.
If they're smart, they probably know how to get around it.
But coming up after the break, we'll take a look at some more fun stories, including a TSA dog in the Final Four for a Cutest Canine contest and Hallmark's Merriest Christmas Town contest.
Take a look at those stories and an update on your forecast in just a little bit.
Now, here's your first alert weather update with meteorologist Henry Groff.
Well, we are going to be looking at a pretty much quiet day across the Mid-Ohio Valley, but rain chances are going to be returning into tonight. So for now, really not much in the way of concerns in terms of wet weather, but we have been seeing some areas of patchy fog for our morning commute, especially as we look off in the distance here in Parkersburg, mainly looking over at South Parkersburg, where most of that fog has been developing this morning. So right now, temperatures have been starting off in those mid-60s and still not going to be warming up too much into today. Low 80s, pretty seasonal for this time of year, to mid-80s. Now, we will see another cold front sliding through into tomorrow, and that's what's going to be bringing us that chance of rain. So well out ahead of it. So not really concerned about rain chances as we get through the day, just some areas of fog. But once we get into this evening, that's when things will be changing. So futurecast showing that mix of sun and clouds through the early afternoon with more cloudy skies this evening. And then once we get into tonight around 9 to 10 o'clock, that's when we'll see that chance of rain pushing through. Some embedded thunderstorms will be possible as well, which means that potential for flooding will also be around as well. And into your Thursday, should still see some scattered thunderstorm activity until we get into the late evening, and everything should at least be moving out of the way for us. So like I mentioned before, some isolated heavy downpours will be possible, while others just see mainly light to moderate rain. So some spots might not be picking up too much rain going through the day tomorrow, while others may easily pick up another inch or more of rain. Again, it just depends where those heavier downpours move through. So that threat for localized flooding is going to be in place for tonight and tomorrow, but that risk does start to taper off late into the day on Thursday. And then get to talk about some cooler weather on the way, but we have to get around one more chance of rain, and so far we're going to be looking at Saturday, where then afterwards we should be entering a nice comfy air mass with lower dew points. So again, we just got to get through Saturday with that next chance of rain, and then anticipating dry weather Sunday and into next week. So looking at your day planner ahead, upper 70s by 1 o'clock, mix of sun and clouds with increasing clouds this afternoon, highs around those low 80s, and then into tonight with that rain, temperature should be down into the mid 60s. For tomorrow, stormy weather still around, upper 70s for your high, and we should see more upper 70s in your 7-day forecast. That's going to be back around Sunday after Saturday's chance of showers and storms. Overnight lows are also going to get cooler as well, looking at those upper 50s to mid 50s, and then Monday and Tuesday hovering around those upper 70s. And again, in my opinion, it does feel like we're going to be getting a taste of fall. Now let's take a look at what's trending. You're laughing over there.
I do have the giggles this morning.
I mean, in the middle of our newscast, when I said that next week was going to be a bit of a taste of fall,
our director
had to argue against me.
So I appreciate you saying that in your personal opinion.
In my personal opinion.
Well, let's get started with what's trending for today. And of course, we're talking about a dog to start. So Zero, a 9-year-old German Shepherd and explosive detection canine from St. Louis Lambert International Airport, has sniffed out a spot in the Final Four of the 2026 Transportation Security Administration's Cutest Canine Contest. The 4-legged TSA veteran has spent the past 6 years helping keep travelers safe and is expected to retire by the end of the year, according to a release from TSA. After work, Zara loves playtime, especially a game of tug with a ball on a rope. He's a big fan of treats, and he likes to unwind after a long day by napping in the sun with his head on a pillow, according to his canine handler, Raymond Wu. For a dog who spent years helping keep St. Louis's Lambert travelers safe and secure, a Cutest Canine title might be the perfect way to retire. Zara is up against Bolt, a 3-year-old German short-haired pointer from Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport. Look at him.
Tough contest.
That's a tough one. I always want to pet the TSA dogs, and I know that I cannot.
Don't do that.
And so I don't do it, but every single time I want to tell them they're doing a good job.
It feels so tempting.
I also felt that whenever I'd pass the drug dogs working in DC, especially at the State Department, I always wanted to say hi to them when I would do my daily walks, and I never could.
Nope.
But I'm really proud of them.
Well, let's move on to our next story. Hallmark has named the 25 finalists in its Merriest Christmas Town contest. The eventual winner will serve as a filming location for a Hallmark movie. Hallmark says the finalists were chosen for bringing the spirit of Christmas to life through cherished traditions, joyful celebrations, and a deep sense of community. Hallmark says now you get to choose the town that best captures the heart, wonder, and magic of the holiday season. You can vote daily through Hallmark's Merriest Christmas Towns contest website through September 4th.
I love Christmas. I know you don't believe in Christmas until after
No.
Thanksgiving.
I say we wait until after Thanksgiving and then all of the Christmas decorations can come out.
You don't believe in Christmas until after Thanksgiving.
I just think it sounded better the way I said it.
We said it the same way. And now we got Christmas music in our ears. I love Christmas. I will put my Christmas decorations up in November before Thanksgiving.
I'm going to have my Christmas gifts already selected before Thanksgiving because November is a great time to go Christmas shopping before Black Friday. So then you don't have to fight the crowd.
But you just
then.
But if you only put them up after Thanksgiving, you can only enjoy them for like a month.
Yeah, but you get a great month of celebrating Christmas because you're not out trying to shop. You get all the time at home with friends and family, baking cookies, watching Christmas movies.
You can do
watching
both.
Christmas specials.
You can get the presents before December and also put your decorations up before December. You can do both.
No,
I do both.
There's still Thanksgiving that has to be celebrated.
They can both be celebrated. It is not exclusive, Henry.
Not until
you just
Santa
don't
Claus
have
shows
Christmas
up
joy.
in the Macy's, not the Macy's Thanksgiving parade.
Okay, I'm sorry you hate Christmas joy.
I don't hate Christmas
That's
joy.
what it sounds like to me.
But we gotta follow a strict schedule.
Moving on, let's take a look at Daybreak trivia from today. So our question was, how many yards is the Indianapolis Motor Speedway from start to finish? And the answer is 4,400 yards. So the rectangular 2.5-mile track linked 4 turns, each exactly 440 yards from start to finish, by 2 long and 2 short straight sections. In that first 5-mile race on August 19th, 1909, 12,000 spectators watched Australian engineer Louis Schwitzer win with an average speed of 57.4 miles per hour. The track's surface of crushed rock and tar proved to be a disaster, breaking up into a number of places and causing the deaths of 2 drivers, 2 mechanics, and 2 spectators. Luckily, the surface was soon replaced with a 3.2 million paving bricks laid in a bed of sand and fixed with mortar. The speedway was started by local businessman as a testing facility for Indiana's growing automobile industry. The idea was that the occasional races at the track would pit cars from different manufacturers against each other. After seeing what these cars could do, spectators would presumably head down to the showroom of their choice to get a closer look.
And still today, the famous Indianapolis Motor Speedway displays the greatest race, the Indy 500.
It does show the Indy 500. I put this in just for you today, Henry.
Just for me and Austin.
Just a little bit of
huge racing fans.
Huge racing fans. But that'll do it for our morning brief today. He's Henry Groff. I'm Emma Grace Myers. It's almost Christmas, Mid-Ohio Valley.